decentralizing and making sure that power is devolved to the ward level so that the Zambian people can participate. And this is the voice of James Banda, who are saying we are going to do that. Now, coming to our comrade, Professor now, from doctor, I've elevated him to Professor Proud. He's talking, he talked about things, commodity, is it our essential goods being expensive? This, I wouldn't want to much dwell on the current thing, which is COVID, in which we are in, which has pushed the prices almost 100% up. The other scenario is the energy challenge. I think the energy challenge from 2008, as I said, in MMD time, the prices kept on going up worldwide. And we are even blessed to have even these prices coming to hit us by 2014, 2015. Because if you remember very well, CNN, BBC, they were talking about this increase in food prices as way back at 2008 when we had that credit crunch. So the food prices, it's because of climate change, where you find that people are not, they were having fields like the northern region of Zambia, where people were having rice, where they were having this maize crop and some other crops that we depend on, like beans. They are now flooded area. We have this what we are calling the flash floods. They are now waterlogged places, meaning we cannot use the same arable land as we used to do. We need to relocate. And today it's not simple to relocate. God has stopped giving nations. We need to start operating within where we are. We have this dry spell in the region like southern province, western province. So these are the things which have forced us to have these food prices up because of the predicament we are in. We can no longer produce the same crop that we are producing, like a maize crop in 1988. Today it's extremely expensive to produce one because whether you like it or not, you just need to get a modified crop for you to have a better crop tomorrow. So these are some of the things which are beyond us as humans. It's because of technology, in fact, that we are overcoming some of this. And this is the reason why we have kept on talking about FISIP. FISIP is part of that approach of technology, reaching out to the people, using the middleman, the banks. And you talked about having a direct interface with our people. Why is it that people don't have cash? But when you tell them, go and borrow money through the cash, this is what Elvis is talking about. The government is talking about, we will continue promoting this policy of, we'll be working with the banks. We will inject more money, recapitalize the banks, so that there is accountability. Because if we say go under the Ministry of Tourism or under the Ministry of, is it youth, you will know that you are just going to receive that 10,000 and tomorrow you won't account for it. But the bank will follow you. They will do the necessary documentation. They will do all the mandates and they'll compile a history about you. And I think this is what we need. We need to work together with the private sector so that agriculture is promoted. And this is what is happening. The success of FISIP, it's because the middleman is the bank, the private. And that's the way forward. And this time around, we want to do everything with partnering with the private, the banks, so that money is accounted for. And every Zambian, borrowing from Musanjo, who is very upset, we are saying, when we are talking about culture change, it would be very bad when a Chinese come to tell us that you Zambians, you are lazy. Let's call ourselves lazy. Not a foreigner to come and call us lazy. Otherwise, if you don't change from this culture change, you talked about, you testified here. There were people who are protesting that even plating of air has been taken over by foreigners. Cooking of food today, in Shima, which we know that you are told a person from Uganda will come or from Rwanda. And you know in Rwanda they cook bananas there. And then a person comes all the way from Rwanda where he knows how to cook bananas. Come and teach you how to cook in Shima. Is that okay? We can't say that that is amounting to laziness. We need to change our mindset. So, Amunsanje, I know you are a senior citizen, but it's important that we insult ourselves. We shake up ourselves, because if foreigners, they will come and laugh at us that we came here, we find you, literally we have been doing everything. Tomorrow they will be cleaning our toilets if we can't clean our toilets.
Okay, thanks. Let's take some more calls. Hello? Hello? shani wakalamba wankama.
Wino family shani mkwaya.
Wino shani honorable.
Wino mshani mfumu.
The voice of Chama Alan from Zingarume.
Okay, ba Chama Alan.
Ile kwena chilanda nefingi bantu ichintu ichisuma chilombelo muchele. Ba Patriotic Front na mubombesha elo mkachili mule bomba. Nibanga uwo mwaya fwa abapina aba bomduira mumayanda wabafumyamo wabapere kyakulya mwabasonkerera amayanda nibanga epo amabuteko yaishira ekumuna tububuteko buteko bwabalanda bubuteko bwatu mwana lesa ine ndetira mwishimya mulilo upitirishe sana bakalamba ine nganeta amala ni ndetira ti ibifine bakateka bamona kwaba kumona bamona kwaba ala bamsonda kuti mwayaye bako bakateka na hivyo kwa Patriotic Front callers bakatwite bantu amashina bakwata kwena batwita twaikala panshi twabeba kona ikwe opo chilingiri okuba bantu mufyashi wachalo mufyashi musuma abana tabamutina na totela lesa pale Zambia apale na baita twagwalungu pamona ba Patriotic Front Secretariat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. The number to call is 097-8325-332. 097-8325-332. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Fine, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from? You're through to add your voice on United Voice Radio.
Mulenga voice kulwapula bamukonda mushani kwati.
Wino walishali wa mulenga.
The voice of Luapura. My pusher manifesto PF.
Can it deliver? Can the PF deliver under the new manifesto?
36 Mulelanda patisemu PF wa Kulanda 49,000. Mulelanda patisemu PF wa Kupera Batazala Itali India. Semu PF wa Kupera Masivo Servant Ama. Bala ni ukatishinga patuka 3 years epo barandiria twara abapera amapension y'amasivo servant na rero turerore namba amasivo servant bakamona cyane olonga yaka yaine ya kuvota amasivo servant bakavota cyane bamukondo samwari ko ba president ero bala ili abantu yana mupepa na kuma radio station ya twara apera amasivo servant india na rero balero bakendolera amasivo servant batazala mantiwo ku bapere Atazara chari. Atazara idon stepo ndeme wa bikondo so. Ero mrecho mbolo lenko ngole katishinga cha 5 months ero mre wa pole cha every month. But ni shimrecho mbolo lenko ngole. FPF yo mrelanda tatira tateri. Se muri tiaz barabe ne bari mu PF. Batese tateri kacha. Se yo mrelanda. Sampe yo konga abantu imisebo shine mrelanda turebomba mbenshi. PF yine akapokora so apepo tuliganda tu kadi ngalasana ngako ordinary name ule fo ku invention ya kukapokora basenda ya name ya abana babakapokora bekabe ego mure bati balasitati balitari vanshyo mulelanda polo mulelanda ya 40 poroni chapera pe PF kasta zikabekala cha benefit PF bekabeke bale cha benefit wolo tune bale launda baba nanikane ba minister of shani utapela utune utumaloni bale pere nkoko ba livestock bale pera bya makata bekabe kape ba PF ngamwasanga ama ne mutse yaba PF yebekabeke kabye ngala ngala sanga poti ordinary citizen ule
okay okay twatotera mkwe Okay, thank you so much. The number to call is 097-8325-332. 097-8325-332. Our topic is, can the PF deliver under the newly launched manifesto? Hello. Tasenza bwino ni mwendani mtumira kuti? Joseph?
Yes.
Joseph ndani?
Joseph
Mtema, okay. Kambani?
Mtelo.
Yes. Mtelo, okay. Kambani Can the PF deliver under the new constitution, new manifesto? Please be free, be brief.
But if I pay for 10 that church was, in fact, I'm one in the Fomunaka, but development and Damalot. But even when I'm about that, Mungu Kalabotin, Uganda Pata, Toka Pokunda, Rotin. Once we are freedom at the end of Kakala. Kutoka Kalabokonda school, now we can know the 2011 2014, 15 up to now. Whenever that Mukachoka and Futin and Rusaka, Kutoka Mupaki, TBV, which development in that number. Number 2, from Kentakuti. Mabudu is in the sector of Mabudu. Why they are cooking away? Cooking away, Kutoka Pacific Quarter, 140 quarter. Wambiraka, is in the 7 to a coup in the one about 25 years near on a 9. Kuma church Rakamba is a Mazanga to change, otherwise, Sakiname Mungan Devana in Nanzun. Then is after the Jakuti, Lord, Mukachoka Pamonga, Pazanako land about Munapanga to the Chimanico. Mukachoka Pazanako about the Finanga, Dungo, Konda, Munga, Mungo district hospital. Lord, the Jalazi, Gatrama, Mamotoka Mataka, Munufanga. How come we do now, Mamma and Munga Nevada? But the young didn't get Mamotoka Mataka, and we took up at the Konda Kujaleta Mayona one. Number 2 particular Monaco branch.
Okay. Okay. No, Kabiri, we are running out of time. We are running out of time. Okay, all right, okay. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for your call, Mutelo. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. The numbers to call are 097-8325-332, 097-8325-332. Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you calling us from? You are through to add your voice. Okay, Alex Ndan. Okay, Alex Kangwa, Kambanpon, can the PF deliver under the new constitution? Okay, thank you so much. We'll take our last call. We'll take our last call and then we'll wrap up the program. The number to call is 097-8325-332. 097-8325-332. And the topic is, can the PF deliver under the new constitution? Hello?
Hello,
kuna mpundwe
yeo
kulibwanji kuna mpundwe
uchadebwino usazi wako lusaka papri bwanji huko
kulibwino. Okay, topic here tonight, can PF deliver under the new constitution? And you are our last call up, so please be brief.
In a venue on a tape singa cha deliver, otherwise talema kunzera boza ikatabenzelo kuti achikatenga cha deliver neso tetamu benefit muri bani bali mu party amene baja, but otherwise abane bakathe despite mu party ololi mchipani chinango oli mchipani chakuti tuiona chali chani ole empowerment lo chani so kwacho boti nami pa dia lero kulibe sivinga sevens apa Zambia naliyenza ratyangamuka kulibe bane ba play singa cha deliver pa program yo na cha yonse tambe kulibe tabe atamutambe benefit mwamene mudali mu party mwamene muda ama pokeko na sama mu empowerment njanga sebwanji njanga cha mu benefit ndanga ona ati because ka flat na next year akatebwanji akadie so manje sesikudia nshikulize so na mpundwe si kutengera kumonza pena konse kuteni konse atangamuka abantu kwera musaka bacha.
Okay,
so ndema we yanga ninayo basi.
Okay, siko mkwambie. Okay, thank you so much. That was our last call. Now we can attend to their concerns.
Thank you very much for all the contribution that you have submitted. I'll start with the Kalaluka from Nampundo saying that we are not going to deliver. And I think the good testimony is in Nampundo itself, the Nampundo mine. Before MMD, the same Nampundo mines, it was not up. Today, it's part of the infrastructure that the mines that the Mopani also acquired, and it has been revamped. It's because of the same PF policies. And for us, we are very much committed to make sure that even places like Nampundwe, they will have all these other amenities that other people have benefited. And this is the reason why, if you look at the PF, it has been trying to do adjustment to districts. The other time, if you look at Nampundwe, where it was under the other district, it has been added back again to central province, so that we can improve on the delivery system to the same Nampundwe area. That's where it is. But if you look at the same Nampundwe area, you find that we have added a new district for, is it Chuni? I've forgotten the district name. We have continued providing the so much needed security and then also infrastructures. And it's not an isolated case. This is happening almost across the whole nation. Like the way, is it Joseph Matelo, the one who's coming from Chawama, but he says his interest has been that of Western Province. Where he says some portion of PF, the roads they have been dilapidated from 2011, they will need maintenance. They will need to be redone, and then some other portion, they are passable. So he thinks other areas that have been left out, they should have benefited under the same is it the 8,000 project? There is a balance of about 1,500 kilometers. And these are some of the portions that he was mentioning that need to be done. Otherwise, this is a national cake. We are still with the same 8,000 project. But we cannot implement everything at once. As you heard, the manifestos have kept on changing. The approach to things have kept on changing. The emphasis when we talk over power, it was 8,000 project that it should achieve everything. But we have achieved almost over 90% of the 8,000 kilometers. So wait for the right time. That portions which are mentioned, they will also be done, just like the way we have done on the Copper Belt. Others, if you find that other people, they will be mentioning the same who are coming from Muchinga. They will say, no, this portion has not been done. It's because there is still a balance of 1,500 kilometers that need to be implemented. And the Mulenga Voice of America is talking about 48,000. That is just part of social media. And I think this thing is in court. The latest thing I was seeing, it was a Zambian, from a former accountant from Ministry of Finance, together with somebody from Tanzania. They are claiming that they are the owners of these 48 hours. So these ones, I think they are in the right hands of government, and those people are in charge to look at these things. They are now part of the national assets. On the civil service and the retirees, and also talking about policemen engagement. When talk about the police, I think we inherited the police force which had almost 8,000. Today we have engaged almost across the other wings of government, youths who are between 18 to 35, more than close to about 14,000 different youths categories, but between 18 and 28. And for him, would want maybe a brother to be among those youths. That's when he will believe that these are Zambian youths. If you are talking about engaging more than 14,000 across the security wings, these are youths, because the security wings are there, the numbers get depleted and they are replenished constantly. These are the same numbers. That's why you find that today Delay will be engaging about 3, tomorrow Kamfinsa will be calling about 200, just like that, 900. I think we are posting all those huge numbers. And for us, it's unfortunate for Zambians to believe that everyone who has been engaged, those 1,000, the 14,000, they are all PF party functionaries. It's unfortunate. They are Zambians, and this Zambia it's not administered by the PF alone. This is the reason why we have always told our friends that this rhetoric, this propaganda of saying the PF police, the PF army, the PF what, it's unfortunate. The government is for all Zambians. This PF-led government is for all Zambians. They are civil servants who are in charge, and they work and execute their duties diligently, and they are professionals and above board. So it's not here and there. And the other one is talking about retirees. I was talking about Tazara. If you look at the Tazara issue, it's coming from the MMD. But for us as a responsible government, we have been paying, and he has information that what we are paying is even saying this is a backlog of about 6 months or whatever. But what is important that we have been paying, and we are going to make sure that we pay the right people. We cannot pay this issue of the old register and the new register. They need to reconcile. And the people in charge, they are civil servants, not cadres, not ministers. But for us, we have made sure that the policies pay the retirees what is due to them. The other one, it's Chama. Alan is thanking the government and is asking for my number, that there's development which is happening in Choma. There's development which is happening in Mazabuka there. The road, also Mazabuka, they were complaining. But today they are no longer complaining. And then also, I want to, as I come to an end, proud talked about gender. I want to end on women empowerment and gender equality. The PF has made history by appointing several women to high offices. That a lot of positions which were monopolized by men in Zambia and elsewhere in Africa. The first females who have been appointed in the following high position: the Vice President, the Chief Justice, the President of the Constitutional Court, the President of Appeal, the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Inspector General of Police, the Director of Drug Enforcement Commission, and the others. It's us, the PF. We have continued demonstrating. So for us, in fact, if you look at the labor laws which were enacted, is it the one which were made into law last year? Some of it, they were saying, no, it has become too feminine. Zambia has become too feminine, such that a woman can use calculation, can even be off work for about 6 months. That's how much we have involved ourselves when it comes to issue of gender and championing gender. So it's not here and there that we are proud ourselves who have not demonstrated leadership. I've mentioned those names, and we have continued nominating women in positions like a Commerce Secretary General, those who have been adopted in numerous other councils and parliamentary elections. And we even today, as we started this inter-party politics, we have deliberately made it a must that women should be 50-50.
Okay. In terms of, I think it was Mulenga who was saying these loans, the soft loans, you know, and the chickens and the goats, they're just going to party functionaries. Is that true?
It's not true. If you look at how our friends, the Ruapula, voice of Ruapula, how negative he is, you can just see that this mindset is coming from the UPND. He does not appreciate anything. Whatever he says, he's even saying these things that have been given to Zambia. If he said he himself had gone there and he had failed to have one, then we would have evidence to say that they are PF-related things. But this, if you go on the ground, it means that the whole Zambia, it's PF.
Okay.
But you are not a one-party state. We are giving Zambians.
As we come to the end of the program, I think you should also allude to, I think it was Kangwa, Alex Kangwa, who said...
Boza Chilam.
Yeah, and that voting for the PF is voting for trouble. But the question I want to ask in conclusion is, how can the PF be trusted to deliver on its promises over the next 5 years if voted back into power?
Look, history speaks a volume for the PF, the experiences that we have and the successes and the small failures that we have failed, which they are talking about on individual level, and that is making sure that money trickles to individuals. Look at the infrastructure that we have done. And the president talked about the Zambian people, that they must look at where we are coming from. We have provided leadership. Ever since we were elected in Tupa, we have transformed Zambia within 9 years of the PF government. We have experienced and presented transformation development. Zambia is now better than it was 47 years ago under other previous administration. The good example is the fulfilling of Lusaka. Here, just in Lusaka, here, these roads, we used to talk about the congestion of Lusaka. We used to have problems when it rains. We would have floods permanent. But today, the story has shifted from along the roads now. We are talking about now some of the compounds like Kanyama, where we have people who have gone into areas which are lower. We find that they are almost submerged. So these are some of the challenges that we are now looking at. And the PF is taking us beyond those higher levels. So basically, look at local government. We have opened up the people of Zambia who have reached out. We have created 44 districts. These 44 districts have been the anchor of development to these rural areas. Rufunza here, it's a new district. Today, Rufunza as a civic center, today it has seen new injection in terms of education. There are new boarding schools. You hear people, police officers, the army, and others, people, the private, will say, no, I'm sending my children to Rufunza. That never used to be the case. So basically, Rufunza is just one of the litmus paper of these other districts which have opened up. There are other districts that have benefited through the infrastructure development, and we are talking about 44 of them. People are able to have access to an NRC, as opposed to what used to happen. You have to go all the way, come to Lusaka, or you go to the provincial district area. Southern province itself, Choma speaks volume for the whole southern province. They have the infrastructure for, that is the engine for the economy for there. Choma, Monze, it has infrastructure to do with food security. So we are talking about infrastructure that we have laid in these 9 years to make sure that Zambian people can trust us.
But the Zambian people also have a right to complain that most of the development is mostly anchored in Lusaka. If you go to Kabwe, you will see that in the townships, the roads are quite poor. Look,
a good example that you have brought is Kabwe. Kabwe, when you took over Kabwe, I think when you were with Michael Sata, in 2010, 2011, Kabwe was a dead town. Today, foreigners, they are even able to open a shopping mall. Today, Kabwe, you are talking about people are able to have at least the basic commodities from other areas now. You are talking about a Kabwe, at least we have done the main roads. And as I speak today, roads are being done by Tutwangurube in their central constituency. Today, as I speak, Mumbwa, it has a resurfaced road. Mumba, as we speak, there was a terrible flood which happened in Mumba, these floods, where I find houses were submerged in water. Today, you are talking about the office of the president that has adequately addressed that challenge. And we thank God, we never even lost any life in Mumba when those flash floods. So Central Province, it is back. Kapili, it is back. If you look at the depot there, the ZRA depot, it has added value to a dead town which was known as Kapili Mposhi. Yes.
We have come to the end of our program, and our guest was Mr. Chendra Mukondo, former Lusaka PF Information and Publicity Secretary and member of the Information and Publicity Desk of the Patriotic Front. Thank you very much for coming to the station.
Well, it was quite such a rare privilege to be here, and I thank all the callers, those who had phoned, and those who wanted to phone.
Even those who say that voting for the PF is voting for trouble.
We thank for them. It's a challenge.
Until next week at the same time, on behalf of my producer, Joe Akatama, I am Patrick Nkama saying have a blessed week ahead of you.